Alright, what we're going to learn today is calculating percent composition. Unfortunately, you guys already know how to calculate percent composition, you just maybe haven't heard it said this way. But, if I were to tell you you got a 17 on your last test, and asked you what percentage that was, your first thought should be out of what? So, if I were to tell you that it was 17 out of 20, you'd calculate the percent composition of your correct answers by dividing 17 by 20 and getting 0.85. You'd then multiply that by 100 to get your answer of 85%. That's really all we're going to be doing here today. So in order to calculate percent composition, you have to find what your actual question is out of. In this case, that's going to be the total mass of C2OH6, and you need to figure out what you got correct. In this case, it's going to be how much carbon weighs, how much oxygen weighs, and how much hydrogen weighs. So we're going to figure out how much they each weigh individually in order to calculate the total mass. So we have carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. So we're going to add them up. Carbon on the periodic table weighs 12 grams per mole. We have 2 carbons, so 12 times 2 is 24. Oxygen weighs 16 grams on the periodic table, grams per mole. We only have 1 oxygen. 16 times 1 is 16. Hydrogen weighs 1 gram per mole on the periodic table. We have 6 of them, so that's 6 total, for a total of 46 grams. So our total mass is 46 grams. That's the same thing as saying our test was out of 20 points. That total mass is what we're looking for. Our carbon mass was 24, oxygen mass was 16, hydrogen mass was 6. Alright, next we're going to see how much percentage our carbon was of the compound. So we'll have 24 divided by 46. See how much oxygen was, 16 divided by 46, and see how much our hydrogen was, 6 divided by 46. And I'm going to put all of those answers and the typed up calculations down here right now. That 46, just so that you know, in each of these denominators was there because it was our total mass. So carbon, the percent composition is 24 divided by 46, what we wrote up here, times 100, is equal to 52.2%. The oxygen, which was 16 divided by 46, what we had up here, times 100 is 34.8%. And the percent hydrogen is 6 divided by 46 times 100, which is 13%. So that is the breakdown of the percent composition of ethyl alcohol. I'm going to have you guys do one problem on your own. You can always pause this recording if I go too fast. And I'm going to have you calculate the percent composition of caffeine, which is C8H10N2O2. Things to keep in mind when you're trying to calculate this is that this 2 is going to distribute to that nitrogen and to this oxygen. So really you have 4 nitrogens and 2 oxygens. Go ahead and pause this recording as you work through this, and then I'll work through it once you replay it.
Hi there, I was wondering what time you're checking tonight.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is figure out how much each individual element weighs. So we've got carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. So carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Carbon weighs 12 grams per mole, but we have 8. So that's 96 grams per mole. Hydrogen weighs 1 gram per mole, we have 10, so that's 10 grams. Nitrogen weighs 14 grams per mole, but we have 4 nitrogens, because this 2 multiplied by this 2 gives us 4 nitrogens. 14 times 4 is 56. And our oxygen weighs 16, and we have 2 oxygens, because we had only 1 oxygen, but then we multiplied it by 2 to get 2 total oxygens. Weighs 32 grams. If we add all that up, it's 94 grams per mole for our total mass. So now that we have the total mass, I'm just going to move all of our other masses over here so that it's convenient to look at, but this is really just 96 moved over there, 10 was moved from over here, 56 moved over there, and 32 we got from over here. So it's all the same stuff. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to divide everything by 194 so that I can figure out the percentage. And I'm going to move the answers down below so that I have a little more room. They're also nicely typed up down here. So the percent of carbon was 96 divided by 194, which is 49.5%. Hydrogen was 5.1%. If you calculated it out and got 5.2%, it may have just been how we rounded our hydrogens or how we rounded all of our numbers in order to get 194. If you got 5.2, you're just fine, don't worry. Next for nitrogen, 56 divided by 194 is 28.9%, and 32 divided by 194 is 16.5%. And that is how you calculate percent composition. Have a nice day.